started to tell me about this idea that you had to write your book and that you've been working on it.
Yeah, I sat down and I said, I believe that I've, I can remember his face exactly. I said, it was like I had just had a psychiatric break. I said, I believe I'm supposed to write a book about testosterone and hormones for women, bioidentical hormones, how important it is to their lives, how it's going to change their lives, and therefore, as people start joining this group who replace their hormones, build a productive older age group in our society. I mean, he looked at me like, you have just lost it, I'm leaving the room. And,
well, you have to realize, in my business, I
it.
sometimes speak with people that have visions. And when Kathy starts talking about this vision of this book, I wasn't sure where it was yet.
That kind of vision.
Yeah.
It was kind of I know it's supposed to happen. It was kind of more of a calling than a vision. But I could see the steps that would lead to it, and I could see it all coming to fruition. And everybody wants to write a book.
Yeah. It's funny how things evolve, because initially you asked me to write a chapter for the book that you were writing.
That's true.
And the chapter that she wanted me to write was a chapter about when marriages have existed for some period of time and people have settled in, they've fallen out of lust and into love and then into boredom. There are sometimes factors that are included in that are physiological and health-based.
Right.
And when there has been an imbalance of sexual desire or sexual functioning, and the marriage has stayed together, it's stayed together because people make accommodations. And sometimes there are hurt feelings, and sometimes there is woundedness, there are compensatory strategies that people develop. Are we writing this book to inform and persuade physicians, or are we writing this book to inform and persuade women who can then go and talk to their physician and say, wait a minute, I've read this, or I've heard that, or I have these symptoms, talk to me about this.
Changes for women in America have always been grassroots.
Yes.
They've always been from the women themselves. And so we couldn't make change in other ways, the way men make changes, because we were never until maybe now in the driver's seat.
Right.
We had to use grassroots kind of approach to a problem. So the suffragettes and people, that's how women have gotten what we need. And what we need right now is to not be discarded after we're 40 and not be thrown away because we're old or being told to live with it. We can't, in America, survive that.
Right.
Because we have all the experience, we have all of the energy that we used to have, all the energy that we put into our businesses, into our families, into our husbands, into our greater families like our parents, and then all of a sudden everybody's kind of off on their own, and now we have time to spend on society and individual people who need our help. And if all of us disappear because we have lost our hormones, we disappear inwardly, we disappear externally.
It's like fading away.
We lose our spirit, we lose our drive, we lose everything if we don't have one hormone. And that's testosterone, and no one tells us about that. So it is imperative that this book give women the feeling that they are empowered to be the suffragette of hormones. It is not scary.
What happens, and what we hope happens for you if you get this book and read it, is conversations begin. And people start to tell stories, and people start to ask questions, and then there's information. And so we hope you do that with your friends and family, but we also hope you do that with your physicians. And it takes on a life of its own, because the message of this is so important to women, and because women are so important to all of us, to the rest of us, about how do you want to live your life, what do you want the quality of your life to be as you age, and you're no longer focused on having or raising children or beginning a business and having and raising children. In the fullness of your life, how do you want it to be?